All right, Brenda, thank you very much. The Coug faithful no doubt disappointed tonight, but there is still much to be proud of this year. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk spent the evening at a Coug watch party.
Coug fans packed every single table here at the Red Wheel Bar, which hosted the official watch party for Spokane alumni. A disappointing loss tonight, but the crowd stayed optimistic up until the last 5 minutes or so.
Couldn't come out on top, but you know what? We still love them.
It's pretty abysmal, man, for a Coug fan, right?
The turnovers killed us. I think that they had 17 points on turnovers, and so that was the name of the game tonight.
You were the loudest one in this bar, so what did you think of the game?
Game was good. I thought they should give it to Roberts more.
We made the Final Four of the NIT. Fought hard, loved the spirit, loved the pride.
It was a good showing. There's next year.
The Alumni Association raffled off prizes throughout the night, including a basketball signed by head coach Kyle Smith. And the Red Wheel Bar was more than happy to host this watch party tonight. They're right in the middle of the Thor and Freya construction zone, and employees are concerned that business may be slow here for the next several months. Reporting in Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
All right, let's talk weather now because it was a beautiful day across the Northwest with sunshine and warm temperatures. Let's get outside now to meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. And Jeremy, it says 50 degrees at this hour. Do we have more warm weather heading our way for tomorrow?
Not quite as warm and a little bit windier and a little bit cloudier, but still warm considering we are still in the month of March for a few more days here. Currently sit at 50 degrees here in Spokane. Not too bad. I'm standing outside of my suit going, I can do this. This is pretty nice. 47 in Coeur d'Alene, already down in the 30s in Sandpoint with clear skies overhead and calm wind for now. Temperatures are going to drop pretty quick here in the next few hours, but you can see some of that high atmospheric cloud cover still kind of sliding in and taking over. That's going to put a lid on the atmosphere, keep us from cooling down too much. You get the wind kicking in, and that's going to stir things up and keep us from cooling down even more. So what we'll see is a little bit of activity. Notice the forecast models with each and every run are taking away more and more of that moisture that we would have seen tomorrow. I think it's just one of those ones where it's a weak front moving through and it's predominantly zonal, meaning most of that moisture stays in the Cascades as it does so, moves out, and Thursday's looking much better. We're talking wind and temperatures coming up in your full forecast.
Jeremy, thank you very much. Now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. It was the first day of pain for drivers who use Hatch Road to get to and from Spokane South Hill. Today marked the first day of work on the bridge, and it won't be done until at least the end of July.
Everything, unfortunately, from the school district was great, but from Durham, most of the communication was pretty last minute. So that part was difficult from planning purposes. To find out 3 days before, the week that it happens, makes it difficult on a parent.
Drivers will instead need to now go up to I-90 and use one of the exits if they want to get to the South Hill from Highway 195. Hatch Road usually gets busy, especially around peak community hours, which means a lot of people are going to have to use a different route now. This impacts everyone from normal commuters to school bus that take kids from the Eagle Ridge neighborhood to the South Hill schools. SPS told us yesterday that 18 different routes that transport about 750 students are being changed due to the closure. Some parents told us their kids are now being picked up as much as 45 minutes early starting today. There is also a mess of construction at the bottom of Thor and Freya. The eastbound I-90 exit is closed now. The city has also closed Thor at Sprague Avenue all the way to 5th, and the routes and detours for the Thor-Freya construction will be constantly changing. The city will be reopening and closing different sections over the course of the next several months. Right now, the city is in phase 1 and 2 of the project. Construction expected to last all the way through the summer. For more information on the closures, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. And that was your night beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000. We'll send them directly to your phone. Well, today the DEA held a press conference this morning to address the growing fentanyl crisis in Spokane. And ahead of that press conference, I got the chance to sit down exclusively with the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Washington to talk about her agency's role in helping get the deadly drugs off the street. Federal prosecutors say fentanyl seizures and prosecutions in eastern Washington are up more than 60% in just the last 2 years. And they warn the problem can't be solved with law enforcement alone. Vanessa Waldriff is the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Washington. I sat down with her and Assistant U.S. Attorney Stephanie Van Marter to get a better idea of just how bad the problem has become. They tell me fentanyl popped up in eastern Washington in 2016 and has quickly flooded the market.
A 1,000-pill seizure used to be a significant seizure. Many years ago, we are now seizing 10, 20, 50,000 pills at a time. And the reason that is so frightening is because those fentanyl-laced pills are getting into every aspect of our community. Our community needs to know that they exist.
As you heard, the quantity is staggering, tens of thousands of pills. The U.S. Attorney's Office says they are more commonly made to look like benign pills, in some cases like baby aspirin, but their contents, of course, unregulated, and a single pill can be lethal. Coming up in about 5 minutes, we'll share what program the DEA is launching in Spokane to help curb fentanyl use. Today, Spokane Parks and Recreation announced a new climbing structure has been added to the Audubon Park playground. They are similar to structures currently in Riverfront Park. The climbing structures will be designed to help build climbing skills, and they're being donated entirely by the Jess Ross Kelly Foundation. Jess Ross Kelly was a world-renowned climber who died while attempting to climb a peak in Canada. He was also one of the youngest people to summit Mount Everest. The foundation hopes these new structures will help preserve his legacy. Tonight, Russia says it is pulling its forces back from Ukraine's capital. The Kremlin saying it wants to establish trust so it can negotiate peace with Ukraine. This comes after ceasefire talks are underway between the two countries. Diplomats are describing today's meeting in Istanbul as the first meaningful negotiation since the war began. Ukraine says it has submitted a comprehensive plan, a peace plan, that includes a promise to remain neutral. However, the Pentagon says it has seen no evidence the Russia invasion is ending, and they suspect Russia may be repositioning troops ahead of a new offensive. Prosecutors have charged a 17-year-old in a shooting at an outlet mall last week in Arizona. Prosecutors are charging that teen as an adult. A 4-year-old child is still in critical condition after the shooting. A woman and a 15-year-old boy were also wounded, but have since been released from the hospital. That shooting happened after the teen got into an argument with 2 other teens. Tonight, CBS News and the Washington Post are reporting that former President Donald Trump's phone records from January 6th contain a nearly 8-hour gap. CBS News also confirmed the former president spoke on the phone with Utah Senator Mike Lee and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy during that time frame. Now House members are looking into whether the former president used phones belonging to his aides or a so-called burner phone that day. Mr. Trump responded saying that he has, quote, no idea what a burner phone is. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. Don't go to bed just yet, though. A new program aimed at curbing fentanyl use in Spokane launching today. When we come back, we'll tell you more about Operation Engage. We are back in just 90 seconds.